section we're going to go over quickly, the rules and the point system, okay? So the rules, we tried really hard to make them as cut and dry as possible so that there was no gray area where people could get confused. So first rule, eat a non-starchy vegetable with every meal, okay? So breakfast, lunch, dinner, make sure you have a non-starchy vegetable. We're not being picky with how much, as long as it's there, okay? So the non-starchy vegetables are pretty much anything except for potatoes, peas, corn, and those other type of starches. If you look at the grocery list, if it has an S next to it, it does not count as the non-starchy vegetable, okay? Rule number 2, do eat organic meat, dairy, eggs, and wild-caught seafood, okay? We are what we eat. The food we eat is what it eats too. So the organic food, we talked about getting that nutrient-dense food. The organic food has more of the vitamins, minerals, more of the nutrients that we're looking for, and less of the stuff we want to avoid. So that's why we picked for those meats. Organic apples, strawberries, grapes, and leafy greens. In the fruit and vegetable department, those are the only ones that have to be organic, okay? So just organic apples, organic strawberries, grapes, and leafy greens. If you don't like any of those, then I guess you don't have to worry about finding organic versions of those because you're not going to eat them anyway. Rule number 4, do eat a balanced meal consisting of carbohydrates, fat, and protein, okay? In the guidance of why we picked it, it explains what foods are rich in carbohydrate, what foods are rich in protein, and what foods are rich in fat. You want to include them in every meal as part of a balanced meal. Again, we're not going to be picky about how much, just that they're there, okay? You want to have something with fat in it, you want to have something with protein in it, and you want to have something with carbohydrate, because your body just does better when it gets all of the macronutrients that it needs, okay? And then this one, prepare your food at home, okay? This doesn't mean you have to eat at home, but you have to prepare your food at home, okay? So pack a lunch, if you're traveling, pack snacks. You want to make sure that you know what's going in your food, because we've allowed restaurant dining at times, and there's just no way to monitor who's really asking the questions or who's looking at the ingredient list, and there's really no way to tell as far as who's serving you if they've done their job too. And you know, you may say I can't have sugar. They may not realize that dextrose is sugar, so they're just looking for sugar on a label. They don't see it. They tell you no sugar. You've had sugar. Okay, so we're making it very easy. You eat out, you take a date. Okay, you stay at home, you prepare all your own food, or obviously someone in your household where you know the recipe they use, you know how it was prepared, then that's okay too. Right, so those are the do's. Those are positive behaviors that we want to encourage. Okay? Do nots. Do not eat added sugar. Okay? That's natural, artificial, sugar alcohols, all of it. Okay? Sugar is sugar is sugar as far as this challenge is concerned. Okay? So don't eat it. Don't drink alcohol. Okay? Alcohol is alcohol. Wine, beer, spirits, alcohol. Okay? For this challenge as well, we're not even allowing any cooking because I see that as a gray area. Let me marinate this a little and maybe not cook it off so much. So alcohol is not allowed in cooking either. Okay? So no alcohol during the challenge. All right? Now some things that I just want to mention, like vanilla extract. A lot of the extracts have alcohol in them for the most part, but you can find them without. Or you can use other seasoning, like a vanilla bean. You can get the beans, scrape out the inside. It has just as much flavor, if not more, as the extracts. Okay, and a lot of those extracts have added sugar anyway, so you take a double hit if you end up using it. Don't eat fried foods. Seems pretty basic. Again, not exactly the most health-promoting foods, so we're trying to avoid those. Now that's going to include those foods like chips. Potato chips, tortilla chips, because those are fried, even though they're not nice and greasy when you eat them, they're still fried, so you want to watch out for that. If it's been prepared by frying methods, don't eat it. And then do not eat corn, soy, wheat, or rice. And basically that's just to promote variety, because if you look at the website, 2/3 of the foods that we eat come from those 4 foods. Okay, so if we're trying to expand your horizons and encourage more fruit and vegetable intake as opposed to a lot of the processed foods which these are in, that's why for that rule. Now one exception that we do allow is if you find any of those 4 things and they're organic and sprouted, okay? Because a lot of the anti-nutrients that those contain are minimized dramatically when they're sprouted, okay? Or or if they're organic, they're not going to be loaded with a lot of the pesticides. So that's why we made that exception. And also, as you'll see when you look at the justification, some of the products that we found that we know of that are organic and sprouted are actually better versions that if you get introduced to them now because you have to, we're hoping that you kind of take those with you after the challenge, okay? So that's why they're allowed. I do want to put another note on that. Organic and sprouted 1 time a day, okay? Because I don't want, the whole point is to get variety. So if you have sprouted English muffin for breakfast and a sprouted tortilla for lunch and sprouted pasta for dinner, that's really not that much different than what probably people are doing now, okay? So again, 1 time a day, and that's going to help out the people who need to pack a lunch or something, or they eat in their car. It's a little easier to travel with those kind of foods because you can't really eat a salad in the car. Maybe you can, but I don't want to know about it. It's probably not the safest thing. All right, and then do not eat foods made with corn oil, soy oil, cottonseed oil, canola oil. Again, that's going to go along with the lines of a lot of those foods are processed foods. A lot of those oils are high in GMOs. We just want you to stay away from them, okay? Read your labels, because a lot of people, especially those of you who have done the challenge before, are going to realize it's in a lot of foods and you didn't even realize it. Like my nuts already have fat. Why do they need all these oils in them? Okay. All right. So that's said about that. Let's go to the point system.
I'm sure restricted. Can we break?
Yes. Correct.